Today I'm gonna be working on a couple of my vampire OCs, my girls from a dating sim that I was working on last year that I never actually finished because I can't finish anything. Um, this is gonna be like my first art stream, so excuse me if I'm a little wobbly, if I talk a little weird, or if I go a little slow. I'm nervous, okay? I haven't streamed since I was 14 and I'm 19 now, so it's been a minute, okay? I'm kind of freaking out, but forewarning, that in the background is my heater. And I'm so sorry. The audio is not going to be great, but if I turn that off, I'm going to freeze to death and my pipes are going to burst. So, what are you going to do, you know? I kind of like not freezing to death. Where are we? Here we go, drawing process. Um, I guess I can start by like introducing y'all to my girls. I call them that. I like them. They're fun. Um, I initially was going to. They were going to be characters that were in a game that I was creating for last year's Queer Vampire Jam. I think this year's version of that started already. I think it starts like mid-January and it's the 31st now. I would have totally entered it again this year, but like, I don't wanna. I'm gonna be entirely honest. I just realized I forgot to turn the music on. Whoopsie. It's okay. At least we're doing things, right? So I'm gonna start off with one of my girls. I think Florence. So for like a little explanation of who she is as a character, of course, all three of these girls are vampires. They're all from different time periods. Florence is like from the Victorian era. I plan on doing more research into that era as well, like later on. But as of now, Florence is like, she was a noblewoman in the Victorian era. And that's kind of like the vibe that like, she's like very graceful. She's very like, she had, I don't know how to explain it. Like she's a lady. I don't know how to, yeah. I'm sorry. Whoopsie. I think I'm forgetting how to draw her. You know what? Let's just BS it, you know? If she looks a little different than she usually does, that's fine. But yeah, she lived in Europe during like the Victorian era. How about I don't do that yet? I think that would be good if I didn't do that. I just kind of want to start with drawing their faces, like a little headshot. What's going on? Okay, I don't know what that was. Anyway. I think I want to just do like quick little headshots for each of the girls before I like, what's it called? I'm trying to search for the word before I start like doing like the little illustration dumps that I plan to do for this stream, just so I can like get a feel for them. I love how I looked over there. My camera's over here. I'm looking at my laptop camera. This is the webcam. This is where I need to look. But yeah, just so I can like get comfortable with them. I haven't drawn them in a little while, in a minute, because I haven't really worked on the game that they're supposed to be in a minute. Right now I'm working on a zombie game. Because again, I can't focus on one project at a time. Which actually the first devlog for the zombie game should be out on, her nose is not that big, should be out on my game dev channel on YouTube within the next few weeks. It took me a minute to make, and I had a chaotic time, I suppose. I don't, that nose does not, whoa. I was working on a much bigger canvas earlier, and because I was working on a paid commission that I'm actually not sure I am allowed to, like, share. Like, I'm allowed to share that I have the commission, but I don't think I'm, like, permitted to share anything visually about it, but it's very big. So I was working on a much bigger canvas. That's why all of my tools are, like, all out of whack. I think, girl, I'm lost. I need to bring up a reference for this. For my own character, which is crazy. Where the petals fall. Do I not have any scans? Oh, that's cute. I don't have any references for any of these characters except for one of them. That's really nice. That's cool. That's fine. I don't even think I need it. I think I'm just kind of having an issue because I don't usually stream what I'm doing. I'm never live. I haven't really recorded a video and posted it in years either, but I have a lot easier of a time doing that than I do streaming. Because I've at least been able to sit down and record videos without freaking out, but this is the first time I've actually started a stream and it's lasted more than 2 seconds. I remember that, like, one of the first times since I started getting, like, such bad anxiety, sorry, I'm returning to basics. I'm doing what I used to do when I had a harder time drawing faces, plotting things out. But I remember I, like, tried to start streaming and someone joined. I'm not even checking if there's any viewers. I'm, like, desperately hoping no one's watching right now. But if you're watching, hi. I don't know. I'm not checking the chat right now because the last time I tried to stream, I was, I think she would have a tall nose, potentially. Because she's European, right? Like, that's a European trait. I don't know. But I saw someone join the stream when I was doing my intro. I was like, hi, it's Nyx. I'm da-da-da-da-da. Today we're going to be... And I saw that somebody joined and freaked out and ended the stream. I didn't, like, visibly freak out. I was just, like, my heart was beating fast. I was getting nervous. I was getting sweaty. And then I just, like, had to end the stream. Otherwise, my heart would have exploded, you know? And that's kind of just, like, thankfully not what's happening this time around. I am freaking out a little bit. It did take me, like, a bit before I actually started the stream. It's good that it did because I previously had tested, like, my audio. And, like, you know, so that I could... Oh, ew. So that I could, like, make sure that my, music, like, was the correct sound. I mean, the correct... Like, it was the correct ratio between my speech, and the audio. So, like, the audio wasn't so loud that you couldn't hear me, and that my voice wasn't so loud that you couldn't hear the music. But I tested that with my audio on, like, 28. And I was like, wait, I was a little bit doing it because I was trying to make an excuse for me to, like, not start streaming immediately. But I'm glad I did because I would have destroyed y'all's eardrums. It was horribly loud. Ridiculously loud. And, like, you know, my heater is still going. And it's still probably, like, you know, pretty loud on that front, but it's not as loud as it was, you know? So like me procrastinating did pay off at least a little bit. I hate that like little lip line that's happening right here. Yeah. I'm so sorry about like all of the, I guess, awkwardness of this first stream, but you know what? It's baby steps. At least I'm even streaming, because I totally thought this was going to be another, I don't think her lips look like that. I totally thought this was going to be another like I start streaming, notice that someone's joined, or just get generally too freaked out and stop within the first minute. But I didn't do that, and I love that for me, you know? So even if it's like awkward as hell, who cares? Because at least I'm doing it. Awkwardness is better than nothing. I had to mute that because I got an ad. I don't have Spotify Premium, and I'm not getting it. Should I move her? Screw me. Yo, sorry. My drawing tablet started glitching out. Okay, that is uneven, I think. Let's just... It doesn't have to look, like, great. I'm just trying to make it look halfway decent at this phase. Because this is kind of like my debut. This is, like, the thing that... It's like my first step into streaming my art, you know? I need to be good. Like, I need to put my best foot forward. I'm not gonna come on and then make like the worst thing I've ever made in my life, you know? It might not be great. Like, this is not gonna be my best work. It's like funny little doodles and sketches, but it needs to be decent. Like, it still needs to look a little bit good. That's my goal here, you know? Yeah. Do I feel like this is her? I think her face needs to be rounder. It would be much nicer if, like, I had my sketchbook here, because I've sketched her, like, a ridiculous amount of times. But for some reason, I didn't scan any of my sketchbook. I'm looking into the wrong camera again. I didn't scan any of my sketches of her through. So I'm just kind of like going off of vibes. Why does my drawing tablet keep doing that? Can we chill? Yeah, thank you. Either way, I'm still feeling pretty good about this. I don't have the same level of anxiety about this as I did when I first started the stream, especially because I just checked and it looks like there is at least one viewer. Hello, hi. I'm not reading the chat, so you can say hi, but I might freak out a little bit if I do that. I feel like she had thinner eyebrows. Wasn't the beauty standard around that time like the time period I'm thinking of? It might not be Victorian. It very much might not be. It's the time period where like portraits of women were being painted with them being like eyebrowless, because having a big forehead was like attractive. That's the time period I'm thinking of. So I'm gonna make her eyebrows like pretty thin. I'm not gonna make her eyebrowless. I'm not doing that. Especially because this takes place modern day. Yes, she's from the Victorian era, but she's not like in the Victorian era. One quick second. My drawing tablet is being mean to me. Okay, point is, Florence is from the Victorian era, but she's like in modern day. Like, she's meeting the player in like 2025, you know? So she's been around for a while. She's seen like the changes in beauty standards, and she's not like completely stuck there. Like, she's a little bit. She's still like pretty rooted in like the beauty and like trends specifically of her era, but not so much so that she's like completely oblivious to how crazy she might look nowadays, you know? And there's like maybe been some things that she's seen in modern days or in like years leading up to now where she's been like, oh, that's nice, I'm gonna start doing that. That's what I would be like if I was a vampire that was alive for hundreds of years, you know? Yeah, I think that's good. We're gonna have her look at us because why the hell not? Is she like, are her eyes like doing a thing? I think her eyes are doing a thing that I don't like, but that's okay. We're just gonna, I do think this was like a good thing to start with for my streaming. Instead of like trying to work on like a project or something like official, something with high stakes. I do think like the chill, let's sit and listen to lo-fi music and draw some of my OCs, I think that's definitely like that was a good idea. I don't know if you heard that. I live in a dorm. I live in a college dorm. And people are, I don't know where my keys went. People are so loud. But you know what? I'm doing payback because I'm probably really loud right now. I can't hear myself. So, you know, y'all want to be loud and literally scream and meow at the top of your lungs in the middle of the night when I'm trying to sleep? That's fine. I'm going to stream and talk. Not at the top of my lungs because I'm not, like, that much of a jerk. But, you know, I'm going to be, like, a little bit loud, you know? And what are you going to do? Tell me to stop? I asked you to stop meowing at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you still do it. And also, I'm not making that up. That happened. College life is great. I remember a little while ago, this guy asked for my number. And I was like, you know what? It's fine. I'm single now, you know? I had you know, I'm not with anybody now. I can, you know, talk a little bit. So gave him my number. We chatted for a little. And then when we were on the phone, mind you, I found out after giving this guy my number that he was about 25. I was 18 when this happened, mind you. But actually, he was 24 going on 25. But still, I turned 18 that year. And he, I was, like, annoyed because my neighbors in my dorm, like, were being incredibly loud. And I was like, sorry about that. They're children. Like, they're being so loud. And he was like, well, they're so young. They, da-da-da-da. You know, they're still gonna be immature, and they're gonna... And I was like, I'm the same age as them, and I don't act like that. So... I don't care about maturity. I don't care about, well, they're young. You have to give them grace. I'm young. Maybe if I was, like, 35, then I'd be like, oh, those darned 18-year-olds. It's fine. They're young. Or maybe if I was his age, you know, 24, I'd be like, well, they're young. It's fine. They do things like that. But I'm young, so I can't excuse them. I can't be like, well, that's how young people are, because I'm young people. And I don't do that. So they're just rude. I'm a little too close to it to be able to give them the benefit of the doubt, unfortunately. And I'm sure that, like, they're not, like, intentionally being annoying at certain points. Because, like, sometimes I can tell they just have their friends over, and I don't fault them for that. You know, enjoy your life. I'm not mad at that. But sometimes they stand right in front of my door and yell. And that's when it's like, come on, girly pop, do we need to do this? It's not very nice. I don't like you very much right now. I miss when my roommate was here. Truly, my old one. She at one point was just like so fed up with them that she went outside and she was like, hey, can y'all shut the F up? And I wish I could do that. I wish to embody that. but I can't do that. No. Wish I could. Absolutely wish I could. Okay, so I'm not liking the shape of her lips without the sketch stuff there. That's okay. Oh, did I set my timer? I was supposed to set a timer so that I wouldn't like go over time, because I have stuff to do. I did not set a timer. Cool. Now I set a timer. Anyway, but yeah, I don't remember what I was saying really, but indeed, you know. Anyway, this does look a little more like Florence than I thought it would end up looking. I still feel like some things are off, but I can't even like begin to process what those things are right now. I'm just over the moon that I even was able to do this, you know? Her nose is so wrong. It's her nose. Like, the biggest issue here is the nose. Okay, how about we do that? Bring this in. And then I'm gonna erase that, I think. I think that's most of what's the issue for her nose. Do I want her to have like a ski slope nose? I don't really care. Like, that's the best we're getting. I don't care after that. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm willing to continue with that nose. Oop, I keep pressing the wrong button. I'm okay with continuing with that nose. Like, I'm not mad at it. It definitely does not really look like Florence, but I think it looks enough like Florence that I could just draw her hair on and call it a day. I like doing like a little bit of the shoulders, like a little bit of like this area when I draw like headshots at the very least. All right. She has I put a lot of thought into stupid things. I'm like, does she have a widow's peak, or does she got a straight hairline? She has a straight hairline, I believe. So her hair, I'm gonna have to pull up a reference real quick, because she specifically has this like flowy, like voluminous, like body. Why am I logged out of everything? I just had to re-log into my email for the first time in like a while. What? Oh my gosh. Because I just got logged out. I'm logged out of everything all of a sudden, and I don't know why. Yesterday I wasn't. I haven't used my laptop since then, but I'm just logged out of everything. My lord. Can we stop? Can we behave? That'd be really cool. You want to know what's so funny? I went into this like begging, hoping, praying that no one would watch this stream, and I'm like, oh, I have one viewer. Aww. Thank you. Okay, we finally logged in, I swear. It's about to stab somebody. We're gonna call it. I'm so sorry. I just added something to my board instead of going and getting the reference that we were looking for. I'm so sorry. Her hair is really hard for me to draw. Cause it's like, you know those like rollers that like your grandma used to be using back in like the 50s? that. That's oh crap. I should drop my pen. Oh, I know why. Because I just like overfill all my crap. That's why. I am so sorry, y'all. Technical difficulties. This is the first ever stream. This is honestly the best way it could have gone. Because at least I'm not having a panic attack. That would have been worst way. That's all. I just have too much stuff on my computer. That is completely it. Why is Red Dead Redemption installed on my computer? That should be on my hard drive. Okay. I'm so sorry. And I said that this was going to be chill, nice, jamming the lo-fi. Nope. Absolutely not. What did I think this was? I'm trying not to get up because I know how people are. Suffice to say, but I've just spilled something on my drawing tablet. Whoopsie doodle. However, there we go. Now I think we're good. Now I think I can do what I was gonna do to begin with. I am like, wow. I definitely should have like posted about this on my Blue Sky or like on my literally anything. But I was nervous because I was like, what if I post it and then people come and watch? But now I'm like, people should definitely come and watch, you know? So I'm gonna put her hairline about like right here. And okay. I'm like freaking out a little because I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. Because I always get her hair wrong. And like, I'm designing it. And I find it so funny that I could just never get it. Okay, so we're going to do like that first little... I'm going to scream. Okay, so first little swoop. Other side comes back, back, over the ear. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Now we can... I think I might have to do it like that. Okay. So she has like, it's like very like swoopy. I don't know how to explain. Let's just do it like this first. And then we can fix the swoops later. Let's just get like real messy. Because I think that's the only way that I'm gonna like be able to get it. Because it's like these like big like swoops, you know? These like curls, these beautiful like bouncy, voluminous things, which I do not think were in trend. Were in fashion, I suppose, during the days that that this girl was alive, but that's okay because I didn't ask for that. I said she's picked things up along the way, okay? Back in like the 60s, 70s, 80s, she saw all those like hairstyles, the like all the teasing and the rollers and everything, and she was like, that right there. I'm so sorry. I'm just trying to like explain my thought process because I don't know about anybody else, but like when I design characters, I get like a vibe for them in my head, like something about them that's like their thing, that's like so undeniably them, and then I kind of just design around that. And her hair is what that was for Florence. She also has a hat. Her hat was also part of like what I designed her around. That's also kind of why I'm not good at drawing her face, but I'm good at drawing like other things, because like this looks nothing like her. This is not her face. But I am a lot better. what the? I am a lot better at drawing, like, her hair, for instance. I'm not good at drawing it. Like, let's not get that twisted. I say her face is more shaped like this than anything else. Like, I'm not good at drawing her hair by any means, but I'm better at drawing her hair than I am at drawing her face, because her hair is what sticks out to me. Her face is kind of secondary. It's her hair that really communicates who Florence is as a character. I think I might have to bring this eye down. I think that's part of the issue with her face. And the chin. The chin's a little too big for... How about we just, like... I should stop messing with her face right now. Because I said it was fine. I said we were going to move on. But I just can't leave my girl looking like that. Look at her. I just can't do this to her, you know? What kind of mother to this character would I be if I... Nope, I'm gonna leave her alone. I'm gonna leave her alone. That was terrible. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, we're fine. We're okay. I promise you we're good. I don't know what I'm doing right here. I just know I love the hair. And then, am I going to be able to draw her hat correctly? Let's see. It's like a floppy hat, kind of. You know, like she's got one of those hats that, like, it's beautiful. I'm trying to like it's like a lady's hat. I don't know how to explain it. Can we just undo all that? Thank you. Can we just... am I gonna get in trouble for that? Ugh, that's ugly. I can't draw her hat. And it's like the main thing about her character. It has like flowers on it. Okay, I'm getting close. I'm definitely getting close to what I want her hat to look like. I think I just need to make the tilt better. I think the tilt is also part of like the issue I have with making it look right. Okay, and then okay, I think we need her to come farther out though. And then this is the front right here. So this would get like erased. And then we would have, I don't know if I want it to be like this. Ugh, that's kind of ugly. This with like flowers everywhere, you know? Because I do want it to have like flowers, but I don't know if I want it to be like rounded with flowers all... I know these aren't flowers, by the way. I'm just scribbling so I get like the gist of like where the flowers would go and stuff. Maybe her hat doesn't need to be that far out. Maybe we can make it look good like this. Okay, no, that side needs to be like that. But maybe we can just like liquefy that down here. I think that might be what I was looking for, yeah. I think that might be it. I'm gonna have to delete her like scalp here because I hate that. Right? It looks horrible. Which is kind of deleting her curls, but I can redraw those. I just don't want, you know, this in here. I should have drawn them on different layers. I usually do draw stuff like this on different layers, but it slipped my mind this time. She looks like kind of sickly. Like, I think I'm having a really hard time with her facial shape because that's like not what she looks like. I think part of the issue is her eyes are too big. I love how this entire stream is just going to be me trying to figure out how to draw Florence right instead of getting to the other girls. Honestly, maybe actually I think Florence might be one of the easiest ones, next to Anaya, because one of the other girls' names is Anaya. I think the hardest, like if we're going in order, I have three girls. Um, it's is that her nose? I also think her lips are definitely a problem here. Okay, that no. Let's keep her nose like that. Boop. Bring the nose up a little bit. Tilt it. Okay. And then I think I need to make it like narrower. Yeah, okay. That's like the vibe I'm going for. Can I just pull that down a little? Do a little bit of erasing here and there. Ugh. I'm not trying to give her like the Michael Jackson treatment. I'm just trying to get her nose to look the way that it's supposed to look. Because her nose looks fine, but it doesn't look like her nose. And that's like the only goal I have here. Oh my gosh. How about we just leave that alone? That's all I care about right now. It's okay. We're fine. We're fine. I think this is gonna be what Florence looks like right now. Is it correct? Perhaps not. But is it what we're going to settle on? Absolutely. Because I think this is a fine sketch of her, personally. I looked at the wrong camera again. I think this is a beautiful sketch of Florence, you know? We're just gonna, I don't know how would one, okay. I need you to not make fun of my handwriting right now, okay? I need you guys to be nice and to ignore what this says. Or talk about what it says, but don't talk about how ugly it is, okay? Her thing, oh, I've had the music off for a while now, haven't I? Whoopsie doodle. I don't know, I just got so into it, like, anyway. That comment scared the hell out of me. There's a comment from my Ko-fi, or from the Ko-fi stream bot, link in my Ko-fi. Whoever's watching, you should totally, you know, go do that, you know. Go to my Ko-fi. I did post something yesterday, I think, about a work in progress sketch I have. But anyway, so we're done with Florence as much as we can be today. And I think next I'm going to draw Anaya. Anaya I've already drawn. I'm going to open up the project of like what I drew of her last year, I believe, in February. It's almost a full year later. That's crazy. March? Yeah, March. Okay, here we go. So this is like a headshot that I did of Anaya last year. She's like playful. I missed a few things here that I've included in my redraws of her since. But like, she's the more modern one. She became a vampire 70s, 80s roughly. She's a little closer to our current you know, things. I'm gonna paint her like this, I think. I already forgot what she looks like. I need you to know that very much. Very, 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 it's very important to me that you guys realize that I already forgot what Anaya looks like. I know she has big eyes, but that's just because, like, that's part of her, like, character design, because she's supposed to be, like, fun-loving, like excitable, like, you know. So she's gonna have big eyes. Like, I feel like that's just me understanding visual language a little bit, smidgen, you know. Um, she does have a bigger nose than Florence does, I'd say. I think that might have to go higher on her face. Yeah, that looks good, I think. I already don't remember what her nose looked like. I just know it's bigger than Florence's, which is not a difficult feat. She has kind of like a ski slope, I think. Y'all, I have to reopen that other thing because I have no idea what. Oh, her nose is a lot smaller than I thought it was. I'm so sorry. So sorry, girly. Okay, and her eyes are not what I thought they were. Okay, cool. Okay, I actually don't have a good view of her nose in that one because I'm looking at her nose from above, not below. But we're just gonna roll with it because I think that still helped me a little bit. Okay, yeah, I'm having a much easier time. I think we're good. Let's make it a little smaller. Rotate her. Put her there. About there? I don't know. I also haven't done like a portrait study in a few weeks. Honestly, I probably did one last week. I don't even know. I forget things, but I feel rusty, so I must be, right? I really hope I get to draw Freya. Why am I making her lips thinner than Florence's? Her lips are thicker than Florence's. I really hope I get to draw Freya. Oh, I love her lips. Before the stream ends, because my timer should be going off in like 45 minutes, maybe. Being generous. Does she have, she does not have dimples. Well, she might, but I can't see from that angle, because her hands. But I would assume that she does not. The only reason I assume she doesn't is because I have a character that's a lot like her. And I feel like them both having dimples is too much. Like, that's too many similarities. I might as well have just made the same character. What do you have in your eyes? You don't have anything in your eyes. Okay. Thinking about the other character, I think. Other character that looks a lot like Anaya has stars in her eyes. Like, her pupils are stars. And I love that for her. You know? I really hope these songs are Twitch safe. And I was not lied to. Because if I was, I'm going to be very upset. I'm not going to know who to be upset at, but I am going to be very upset. That is not the shape of her face. Okay, so we're going round. We're going to bring that around here. She has a very round face. Anaya is also plus size, but she also just has a round face in general. Were she not, she'd still have a round face. Some people just have chubby cheeks, you know? Can we bring her in a little bit? Do I like that? It looks like a little bit wider than her face actually is. And I don't know if I'm feeling that way because I brought her face out too far on this side or the other one. I'm gonna try this side real quick. Okay, I think it might be this side. No, it's not. Maybe it is. Let me bring this whole section over. Is that it? Oh, that is absolutely it. Okay. I don't remember what that song is called. There's a song. It's like, cause your boyfriend's got beef. Well, I'm a vegetarian, so I ain't scared of him. Running in my head over and over again right now, and I want to sing it, but I don't because I'm streaming. And then people are gonna have to see me do that. And you guys don't need to see that. I'm not subjecting you to that. That's mean. I also think part of why her face looks so unbalanced is because, ooh, I've laced a little bit too much over there, is because she, her eyes are weird right now. Can we just bring your eyes over here, lovely? Right there? I think I'm just gonna have to do this. She's gonna have to look away. Because I'm having a really hard time getting her to look at us. I don't know what possessed me to give her eyebrows like this. It's very deeply upsetting to me. That's a huge ear, isn't it? Yeah, that's a gigantic ear. Which I know some people's ears are that size, which is fine. Her ear is not that size, though. What did that remind me of? I was watching a Lavender Town tutorial when I was like 15. And she was given a tutorial about like how to draw hands. And she mentioned that this like separation between your hand shouldn't be like this. Like it should be like smaller because, you know, that it'll look weird. Like it doesn't look like realistic. And I remember looking at my hand after that and going, are my hands weird? Because that's exactly what my hands look like in real life. And one of the tips was also to look at your own hand for reference, and that's what my hand looks like, girly pop. I love her videos though. That was just like a little thing. That was like, oh, some people's hands look like that, babes. Whoops. I'll take my weird hands elsewhere then. I'm giving them such long necks. Or maybe, I don't know. I'm used to drawing short necks, low-key. I really am so happy at how comfortable I am right now. It's super nice. I do not like how this is, though. How this is angled. It's gross looking. Yeah, but I feel really chill. I was, like, really bugging earlier. And, like, I thought I was gonna have a heart attack. And now, I'm just vibing, drawing my girls, you know? And we're good. And there's no issue here. I hate that I'm gonna have to stream this particular topic like a million times before I'm ever gonna have enough for like a cohesive video. Because I plan on like repackaging and like editing my streams and then posting them on my YouTube channel, Nixby Art on YouTube. Um, but I would want more than just a few sketches for like a final video. So I would need to do this particular topic like multiple times, like on stream, before I would have enough footage to justify making a video and posting it, which is sad, but it's whatever. It's my own rules, so I can't really get mad at it. If I'm so mad, I should change it, and I don't want to, so. You know. This doesn't really look like her, but I think that's because her eyes are too small. But I don't want to make them that big. And her nose is too big. But I also don't want to fix that either, because I kind of like the way this looks. It doesn't look like her, but it's like pretty. I'm gonna have to fix it though, so that it looks more like her. And her lips were a little bigger. Okay, now we can move to a different layer like I should have initially. She does not have a widow's peak. I hate how I did her hair, and that I'm gonna make it better this time. That was hideous the way I did her hair in that drawing, that illustration, I suppose. Let me move you. Okay, so she has like parts. Vegetarian. Okay, so the way that her hairstyle is she has like, she has puffs, which is again very similar to another character of mine, and I'm trying to mask their similarities, but she has like these big puffs, right? But I was, experimenting with shape in my character designs and things like that. And the game she's supposed to be in is called Where the Petals Fall. So there's like a lot of flowers and like language regarding flowers and bro, sorry, my drawing tablet flipped out again. But a lot of like symbolism regarding flowers and everything. There's just like a lot of flowers in the game basically. And one thing I found really cool would be if all of the characters had like something somewhat flower related that their design like hinged on. Florence's flowers, like her hair kind of reminds me of like the human equivalent of flower petals. Also, she has flowers on her hat. But Anaya, her like thing in her design that has to do with flowers vaguely, butterflies. I also drew Anaya, or I painted her actually in a mural at my old high school, and in that mural she really has like the best version of this hairstyle. It's 4 puffs, basically in like a pattern that's reminiscent of a butterfly's like wings. And yes, this is how I draw type 4 hair. I don't know who you thought I was, what you thought this was, but I am absolutely going to draw 4C hair like this because your mom, that's why. I guess I just have to like But point is, for Anaya, this is like the hairstyle. We're gonna erase the scalp here. And of course, what I wanted her to have in that were edges. She has edges in the mural, thankfully. I remembered that much. But I wish I had given her edges in, you know, the initial, like, official illustration that I made of her. Because it'd be so much nicer, you know? She'd look so much like her, so much more like herself. And I personally, like, really liked it at first, and I still kind of like it, but I think that's like a hideous drawing of her, if I'm being entirely honest. It's horrendous, and it makes me sad that I drew that, but that's okay, because that's why we do it again, and we do it better. I'm BSing the braid right now, by the way. Not even upset about it, not even ashamed of that. I will absolutely BS the braid again and again and again for the rest of my life. Because who has the time to draw an entire braid, like the full braid, just for the sketch? Not me. Honestly, that looks a lot like Anaya, and I'm so upset that it looks so much like her. That's like, that looks disgustingly like Anaya. To the point that it like hurts my feelings that I can't draw Florence. That looks ridiculously like Anaya. And I hate that for me so much. I really hate that for me. Because look at that. This is Anaya. Ugh. By the way, I'm drawing these, I'm making these signatures like in what I think their handwriting would be. Excuse Florence's, I can't write like I spent every single year of school writing in cursive, okay? I can't do that, because I didn't. I learned cursive in the 5th grade from my mom because they took it out of the curriculum, so I'm sorry if I'm not good at it. I wasn't expecting to be. I don't think that was my job. Maybe if the older generations wanted us to know how to write in cursive, they should have, like, kept it in the curriculum and taught us. But what do I know, you know? Okay. So we have Florence and Anaya, and next we're gonna do Freya. Freya's design is grass. How am I gonna convey that? Apart from making her mostly green. She's not green, like she's a person with person skin, but like she's a lot of green in her design. I don't really know how else to convey that, mostly because I spent all of my brain power on these two beautiful women. I did not spend any brain power on Freya. Freya is actually from a Wattpad story that I wrote when I was about 12, I think, about these twin vampires that approach the main character. It's like kind of inspired by Vampire Diaries because I was obsessed with that, but instead of it being like Stefan and Damon, because I'm queer, it was I think Oscar was her brother's name, but it was her and her brother, and they were twins, and they were like pining over the reader. Yes, I was one of those in middle school. I used to write that kind of stuff. And I am never going to be anything other than proud of that. It's hilarious, and it formed who I am as a person today, so. I really don't know how to draw Freya. Honestly, at this point, I don't think it's the stream that's like rotting my brain. I think I just don't know how to draw these characters. I definitely know how to draw Anaya, but I spent literally a year and a half now, and counting, painting her for a mural. So, like, obviously I know how to draw her. Florence doesn't look that far from what she looks like, but I literally cannot picture Freya because she exists for a piece of writing. And I like described, I don't think I ever described her appearance actually because I didn't get to the part of the story that she was in. It like started with Oscar like approaching the reader and like flirting with the reader and whatever. And then she's like, hey, yo, he's dangerous, you should stay away from him. And the reader's like, huh? And she's like, yeah. And she can't tell them that they're vampires, so she's just like, he's bad news. And they're like, isn't that your brother? And she's like, yeah, that's how I know. And then we don't get to the part where she comes in and she's like, how you doing? To the reader. Because I stopped writing it. So I never really got to describe her much. But that's okay. That's fine. I think that this was like a pretty successful stream. Like, if we're talking the first time, I think this was great, you know? I think we're fine. I think that we can settle on this. I think I can be happy with this, you know? This is cool. This is great. This is better than not having streamed at all. And it is also better than having, what's the word? Freaked out over the stream and not gotten anything done in the stream, you know? I think, I don't know how I was supposed to put that into a sentence. Why does the Kofi bot keep being like, hey, Kofi, like you did it twice, baby love. Don't do that. But point is, yeah, I think we can cut our losses and like, well, not cut our losses, but you know, we can be like, this was a very successful stream, very successful day. Yeah, I feel really good about it. If you guys enjoyed watching, then I highly suggest you come back for the next time that I stream. Do not listen to, I have a schedule on my page, like my stream schedule. Don't listen to it. It's a lie. It's absolutely 100% a lie, and I'm not gonna stream during those times. I was supposed to start streaming at 8 p.m. today, but I got stuff to do. So whenever the next day comes, I hope you'll get a notification. And if you want like a more specific notification, subscribe. I think Twitch sends those. I don't use Twitch that often, for obvious reasons. As we've seen, I haven't been able to stream recently. And all of my socials are like on my page. My Ko-Fi, my link tree is not here, actually. But I am Nixby Art on YouTube, Nixby Dev on YouTube as well. That's my art channel and my game dev channel. I have an Instagram, Nixby Art and Nixby Sketches. I don't use them much, but you know, they exist. And Blue Sky is honestly where you're gonna like get notifications for when I'm streaming or when I'm about to stream. And on Blue Sky, I am Nixby-Art. So yeah, I think we're done. I'm tired. That was a lot for me, but I enjoyed it. It was really nice. It was really cool. I hope the next time I actually advertise this and someone, my goal is 5 people watch, okay? 5. That's all. Bye-bye. Wherever you are, I hope you have a good day, night, or afternoon, whatever time it is. And yeah, bye-bye.